8 a.m. on the dot. I am impressed
I
that we're actually this organized. Morning, Tammy.
And good morning, Tracy.
Okay. I see some people still kind of connecting, so I'll just start by saying good morning to everybody. And normally we'd be all sitting here eating eggs and mediocre coffee and at the retreat conference room, but here we are. I am sitting at what was Kate O'Connor's desk at the Chamber of Commerce. I have Greg Lesh here, who is our interim executive director right now, and Sean Garland, one of our board members. He was our technology advisor. All right, so the clock is dinging 8 o'clock. That's this is good. So I'm going to start the meeting off. I know people will trickle in. That's okay. Just follow along. Welcome to the 2021 Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. We are here via Zoom. As I said before, this is not my usual style of work, so bear with me. I'd rather be standing at a podium in front of people, which I know most people wouldn't say, but I don't mind that. I actually like looking out and seeing all the real people in the room, but we've had a lot to adjust to this year. First off, just some little housekeeping things. Yes, please mute yourself. Any votes that we take can just be a raise of hand. You don't need to use the little vote button. I think that's okay.
I will.
Just looking to see if anyone had any questions. If you are the recipient of an anniversary or an award today, I believe the plan is to drop them off or mail them to you. So I apologize if we can't hand them to you and shake your hand and take a great picture like we normally do, but perhaps next year. All right, so first off, and I know we can't kind of see everyone, but raise your hand if I say your name. I wanted to introduce the current board of directors for the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce. Nicole Braun from Great Eastern Radio, who just raised her hand. Michelle Corson, Brattleboro Savings and Loan. Brad Ellis from Vernon Homes. Bob Gammon, I'm not sure if he's here, I can't see him, from WTSA. Sean Garland from Weber, and I can never remember what that stands for, so I'm not going to try. Ross Gibson from the Richards Group. Dave Harlow from Downs Racklin Martin. Ryan Jennings, who I can see, from Community Bank. Myself, Tracy John from the Vermont Country Deli. Carla Lineback of SIT. Gina Pattison, Brattleboro Memorial Hospital. And John Shaka of Brattleboro Subaru. And let's see, today we have 3 individuals who are being nominated to join the board, and we hope that you will approve that officially today. Connie Burton, Touch Free Car Wash. John Potter from Latches Theater and Latches Arts. And Chris Stoner, Twombly Wealth Management Group. So before we move on to sort of the official business meeting, I want to take a moment to recognize some departing board members. My notes here say something nice about them, which I thought was funny. John Shaka, who I think we've said goodbye to more than once, but he is officially done on the board. He will stay on as a bit of a consultant with us, which is lovely. So thank you for your 7+ years of time and support, both financially from Brattleboro Subaru, an often sponsor of many of our events. I'm Brad Ellis of Vernon Homes, who is a very quiet but powerful member of our board. He would often sit and listen to an entire meeting and then jump in at the end and have something really great to say. Cindy Delgado, who stepped away just because of work commitments from the Vermont Department of Labor. We enjoyed having her here with us. And Dean Wilson, who is not here. Dean was from Southern Vermont Wellness. Back last March when everybody was quarantining, he was quarantining as well and stepped away from his position and decided that it made sense for him to stay from the board as well. Did anyone have something to say? All right, make sure to mute yourself, please, if you haven't already. I want to take a moment to thank Kate O'Connor. She did not write that in her notes before she left, but it's important that I think we do that. Kate was our executive director for 7 years at the Chamber of Commerce, and she was a pretty powerful force. She devoted a lot of her time and energy to the chamber and decided midstream this year, although she may have decided that beforehand, that it was time for her to be done. She needed to take some time to focus on her own self and her, health and family, and we will miss her. I'll miss her energy and her sense of humor and her dedication to this community. So I did want to take a moment to to thank her, even though I know she's not here, and wish her well and hope that she is enjoying this time for herself. So now on to sort of official business. We're going to call the meeting to order, and I will ask if everyone has, of course, read thoroughly the minutes of last year's riveting annual meeting, and hoping that we can get a motion to accept the minutes of the 2020 Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce annual meeting.
I'll make that
Nicole,
motion.
thank you. And a second, thank you. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, you can raise your hand, aye. That's everybody here, thank you. All right, the motion carries. Next up, Michelle Corson, who is our treasurer from Brattleboro Savings and Loan, has a very brief synopsis of our 2020 year-end financial report. Michelle?
Thanks, Tracy. Good morning, everyone. Like many businesses, the Chamber was financially impacted by COVID-19. All events were canceled, a staff member was furloughed, and we had to make a cut in other staff hours and salary. Even so, all members stayed members, regardless of their ability to pay, and we never closed. Our commitment to our members never wavered. We supported our members as well as the whole community. We contributed to boosting the economy by keeping the long-running holidays, holiday nights, holiday shopping, and dining promotion going. It was not a revenue generator for us. Instead, our goal was to remind people of the importance of shopping and dining local. Because we are a 501c6 nonprofit, we were not eligible for PPP or EIDL loans in 2020. However, we were awarded a $16,000 grant from the Vermont Agency of Commerce and Community Development, as well as 2 technical grants from the state to perform upgrades to our website and online accounting software, allowing us to do business easier for our members. We look forward to a bright 2021.
Thank you, Michelle. Can I get a motion from the group to accept the 2020 year-end financial report? Oh, Nicole, again, thank you. And a second. I can't see. Thank you, Cindy. Let's see. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All right, thank you. The motion carries. So now some more quick business. It's time to elect our official 2021 Board of Directors. Before we approve the full slate, quickly, once again, these are all folks that will be joining us for a 3-year term. Connie Burton, Burton Touch Free Car Wash, John Potter from Latches Theater and Latches Arts, and Chris Stoner, Twombly Wealth Management Group. Ballots were emailed to the membership on January 5th of this year, and the slate of Board of Director nominees was approved. Having been voted on by the Chamber membership, do I hear a motion to approve the names as presented for appointment to the Board of Directors? Thank you, Nicole. You're my hero. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Michelle. All those in favor of approving the names for appointment as presented signify by raising your hand. Thank you. The motion carries. And next up, the Chamber Board of Directors is recommending the following as officers for the board for 2021. Gina Pattison, our new president, Sean Garland, new vice president, Michelle Corson, continuing as treasurer, and Dave Harlow, our new secretary. Are there any other nominations in the group? Looking at all the faces. Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve the slate of officers as recommended? Is there a second? Wonderful. All those in favor signify by raising your hand for aye. All opposed? Anybody else out there? All right, thank you. The motion carries. So congratulations to our new officers. This is the end of my term here at the Chamber of Commerce. I will also stay on for another year to sort of help with the transition and help look for a new executive director. We're excited to be able to take a few months to really do some thought processing and some thinking about what the Chamber means to this community in this coming year, as things have changed so much. And so I will stay on to help with that transition and work with Gina. And we've worked well together, all of us, these last couple of years. So I'm excited to help kind of finish up that process. And I'm going to officially pass this meeting over to Gina. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. So, like Tracy said, it's so fun to look out there and see all these faces, but in a very different way than standing at the retreat, at the podium at the retreat. But thanks for being here today and for adapting to these ever-changing times that we're experiencing. Before we get into recognizing those that are celebrating anniversaries, I just really wanted to thank a couple of people, Tracy in particular, for leading us this last year. She's done a phenomenal job. She's been part of the Chamber Board for many years and always has some really great input and really understands our town and has done a great job to represent the Chamber. So Tracy, thank you for that. Thank you for staying on for another year to work with me as the president. Also want to thank our outgoing members, John and Brad and Cindy. Did I forget anyone? I think that's it. But thank you all so much for the time and dedication that you've given to the Chamber. We all are grateful, and the Brattleboro area membership should be grateful because you've put in a lot of time, and we appreciate that. So thank you for that. And also thank you to Greg for stepping in as interim executive director. It's a big role. We know that, and we feel very confident having you lead us in this interim time. So thank you very much for being willing to step into that and all you've done to get us ready for today. It's a big undertaking. So thank you to everybody. I know it's so hard, it's weird. Nobody knows how to clap or what to do, but thanks for all those people. So at this time, I think we'll turn it over. We are going to recognize some businesses that are celebrating anniversaries as members of the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce. So we'll jump right into that. I'm actually going to start by recognizing Brattleboro Women's Chorus, who's celebrating 25 years. The Brattleboro Women's Chorus was founded in the fall of 1996 by current director Becky Graber, who I think Becky is with us today. Is that right, Becky? Did I see you on there? Yep, there she is. Great. And become a 501c3 nonprofit organization in 2003. Since its founding, the chorus has given 849 different Brattleboro area women and girls the chance to sing together for anywhere from a single semester to 25 years. They have performed 91 concerts, most of them in Brattleboro. In 2018, they sent a performing group to represent Vermont in the Sister Singers Convention in Grand Rapids, Michigan. The Brattleboro Women's Chorus is singing on Zoom these days for both concerts and rehearsals, which, though it's strange, works to keep them singing. And they look forward to making music in person again when the world turns. The Chamber is pleased to recognize Brattleboro Women's Chorus's 25th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro. Congratulations. And next, I'll pass it over to Ryan.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Gina. Congratulations, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I'd like to recognize Howard Printing for 30 years. Privately owned and operated, Howard Printing was established in 1991 by Brattleboro native Greg Howard, who has 30 plus years of experience in the printing and graphics industry. In 1999, they outgrew their original location in what was known as the old WTSA building and is now known as Top of the Hill Grill, and moved a few hundred feet up the road to their current facility. In 2020, while Brattleboro Printing Inc. was closing its doors, Howard Printing acquired BPI's customer list and long-established real estate publication called New England Showcase. The addition increased Howard Printing's business by about 30%. Over the years, Howard Printing has grown from 2 employees to 13 and from 1,500 square feet to 7,000. They have also expanded their capabilities along the way to keep current with industry standards and to respond to the customer's needs. The Chamber is pleased to recognize Howard Printing 30th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro. Pass over to Ross. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Ryan, and congratulations, Gina, and many thanks to Tracy for your service as our president. I'm very pleased to recognize the Brattleboro Food Co-op. Many of us, our favorite place to shop for 45 years. Formed in 1975 as a small buying club, the Brattleboro Food Co-op has grown into a community-owned natural foods market and deli with over 6,000 active stakeholders. In 2012, the co-op moved to a new 14,580 square foot, 4-story building that also includes co-op offices, a commissary kitchen, a cooking classroom, and 24 apartments. This beautiful downtown anchor building is a result of a collaboration with the Wyndham and Windsor Housing Trust and Housing Vermont. 45 years after opening its doors, the co-op continues to provide healthy, quality, and in many cases, locally grown or produced foods in a relaxed and friendly atmosphere. The Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce is pleased to recognize the Brattleboro Co-op's 45th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro. All right, Greg, I'm not sure who I'm turning this over to next for Berkeley and Valliere.
Carla's going to take this one.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you. It's my pleasure to present an award to Berkeley, Valliere, Greenwood Country Realtors. Jack Berkeley started Berkeley and Valliere Greenwood Country Realtors in 1965. It currently has 2 offices, one in Brattleboro, one in West Dover, and has 32 licensed realtors, making it the largest independent real estate agency in Wyndham County. Berkeley and Valliere is now owned by Jack Berkeley's daughter, Tammy Berkeley Purcell, and her husband, Mike Purcell. This is very much a family-owned business that is committed to the local communities in which it has grown. Over the past 55 years, Berkeley and Valliere has helped thousands of people buy or sell their homes and properties. We look forward to many more years of helping people join our local communities. The Chamber is pleased to recognize Berkeley and Valliere Greenwood Country Realtors on its 55th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro. And at this point, I will hand it over to Connie.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very happy to be joining the Chamber Board, and this will be my first official duty as a board member. And I get to recognize WTSA Radio. WTSA is a locally owned and operated radio station in Brattleboro that has served Wyndham County for the past 70 years. TSA is known for its local weather and cancellations, live coverage of our children's high school sports programs, and of course, their music. However, TSA is probably best known for its coverage of our area's local and state news, and has been the home of a few radio legends by the names of Larry Smith and Tim Johnson. WTSA first signed on to the Brattleboro airwaves in 1950 as 1450 AM, then added WTSA FM 96.7 in the mid-70s. And in 2019, the station's portfolio expanded once again with the launch of Brattleboro's new rock station, 99.5 The Beast. The Chamber is pleased to recognize WTSA Radio on its 70th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro. And now Michelle, I'll turn it over to her.
Thank you, Connie. I am very pleased to recognize Coda and Coda for 80 years of doing business in Brattleboro. Established in 1941 with only 2 trucks when heating oil was just 8 cents per gallon, the family mission was to treat customers like family with respect, show compassion and concern while doing business with courteousness and professionalism. Coda and Coda began with Ken and Helen Coda at one of the first 24-hour gas stations in Vermont, followed by Hugh and Carol Coda and Sean and Chris Coda. 80 years later, owned and operated by third-generation siblings Casey Coda and Kelly Coda Tully, continue to take pride in their commitment to service and the quality of the care they provide to customers. Coda and Coda has expanded to 7 offices with experts in heating, cooling, and plumbing that are dedicated to keeping families safe and warm across Vermont and southwestern New Hampshire. The Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce is pleased to recognize the Coda and Coda's 80th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro. Now I'll turn it over to Sean.
I'm next.
Sean, you need to unmute yourself.
So I am pleased to recognize Sam's Army Navy. Sam's Army Navy started in 1932 as an Army Navy supply store. Sam's a third generation family owned business. In the beginning, it was a matter of supplying customers with work clothes, which originated from the Army Navy surpluses of the World War I. Then later, after World War II and the Korean War. Today, Sam's Outdoor Outfitters is one of New England's most comprehensive inventories of quality brand names, spawning from clothing, footwear, and sporting goods. And as everyone who shopped there knows, the popcorn is delicious. My father always loved the popcorn, and it was always a place to be on a Friday night before hunting season in Brattleboro. So the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce is pleased to recognize Sam's Outdoor Outfitters on its 88th anniversary of doing business in Brattleboro.
Great. Thank you all for reading that, and congratulations to all of those celebrating anniversaries. That's a whole lot of years right there if we add them all up. Next, I'm going to turn it over to Nicole, who's going to share with us the Chamber Member of the Year.
Thank you, Gina. It's my first time speaking on a Zoom meeting in front of a bunch of people, and this one's really nice for me because I enjoy this person so much. So thank you all for joining us. This is fantastic. So I'm going to read for the Chamber Member of the Year, and I'm really nervous, so you're welcome. If someone were to ask me about the Chamber Member of the Year, I'd have to tell them that they are genuinely one of the nicest people and most caring people I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. So let us start from the beginning. This business started as a little food porch, mostly servicing offices and warehouse staff throughout their work days, putting smiles on their faces and gourmet food in their bellies. This chamber member was always there, day in and day out, no matter the weather, with the biggest smile to make your day just that much better. Never making you feel like a nuisance, no matter how many special requests you tacked onto your order. It's no surprise that both the small little porch and the catering business soon took off. Now we have a shining bright star in our community, a happy place to enjoy a delicious cup of gourmet coffee, out of this world food with creative and delicious specials updated regularly. Every person who works there feeds off the positive energy provided by the employers, and you can feel it when you walk through her bright, shiny doors. They are there to make sure you are happy and to feed you locally sourced gourmet food at affordable prices. I did a little bit of research. I asked several people what they thought of our Chamber Member of the Year, and here were some of the responses. I love it there. It's just so different. They are hardworking, friendly, and will do whatever it takes to make the customer happy. I love their unique food choices. The food is so good. It's always very clean. I love how welcoming the staff is. They make you feel like you matter, and they really appreciate your business. They make the best grilled cheese in town, and their lemon dill tuna melt, holy moly. When I walk in, I feel all those things and more. The Chamber Member of the Year holds a very special place in my heart. They helped the community Thanksgiving dinner in 2019 and went above and beyond. Words alone will never be able to express the amount of gratitude we feel. Not only did this member prepare an entire menu based on our donations, but they also helped prepare a schedule for the week so we knew what to cook, peel, and prep every day. They checked in regularly to make sure we were on track. They lent us their own pots and pans when we ran low without any hesitation. The event were frazzled, panicked, and almost in tears, kind of like I am now. They stopped by with flowers and cards with words of encouragement for each of us, telling us how amazing we all are. All of this, and they never asked for any recognition or payment. We are truly fortunate to have this chamber member in our community. For dedication to business excellence and devotion to the community, the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce is pleased to award the Chamber Member of the Year Award to Gretchen Hardy, to the Porch 2 and Hardy Ford Catering. Thank you, Gretchen. If you want to say anything, you're welcome to.
Thank you very much. That was really sweet. You almost made me cry. That's really sweet. Thank you. It's been a hell of a last couple of years. I can't believe we just celebrated 5 years of the porch being open and 10 years of the business in total, including catering. And a huge shout out to Tracy John. I literally started pretty much because of her. So she was a huge influence and I'm a raging fan. And so thank you all. It's really kind. Thank you.
Great, congratulations. Well deserved. I have the privilege of reading and announcing the Entrepreneur of the Year. Our next award is also our newest award, Entrepreneur of the Year. This award was created because we wanted to honor the spirit, energy, and hard work that goes into building a business from the ground up or taking an existing business and catapulting it to the next level and doing it in such a way that it benefits the entire community. It creates jobs and revenue and enhances the very fabric of a thriving economy. The Hermit Thrush Brewery was the first recipient in 2016, and their amazing success clearly embodies this idea. This year's honoree is no less deserving of the title. Our Entrepreneur of the Year began his Vermont journey at 19, arriving in 1969 to attend Windham College in Putney. Living in Williamsville, he eked out a living as the town handyman, catering to older folks who needed help putting up storm windows and the like. He found work as a carpenter and eventually began working with Dan and Ellen Darrow, founders of O'Lily Daylily Gardens. He credits them with being his mentors, and he developed a small commercial garden supplying fresh produce to the Newfane Inn and Four Columns Inn. I think I was making 30 cents an hour, but learning a lot, he said. Our honoree learned how to weld and soon found himself building wood-burning stoves. During this period, he even found time to take ballet, jazz, and modern dance classes at the Brattleboro School of Dance. But by the late 1970s, he felt he needed a plan, so he attended SIT, earning a master's degree teaching English as a second language. He taught in Granada, Spain for over a year while he worked on his thesis. By the mid-1980s, he was married with 2 small boys, and it was then that he and his talented seamstress wife began making high-end bedding and sleepwear for their new enterprise, Carriage House Comforters, which was established on Route 30 in Newfane. Chamber member JB Otto currently occupies that location. From Newfane, they moved the operation to Main Street in Brattleboro, where they set up shop in the newly renovated Paramount building, which had just suffered from a major fire that claimed the old theater forever. Penelope Wurr is the current occupant of that space. Our honoree still found time to teach, working for the Vermont Refugee Resettlement Program, teaching practical language skills to newly settled immigrants, work he found very fulfilling. I was making a difference in the lives of people who had a real need and making them employable, employed, and off public assistance. By the summer of 1997, our entrepreneur was ready for something different. He had always enjoyed cooking and feeding his friends and was often told by them, "You ought to open a restaurant." That was all he needed. A parcel of land had just gone on the market, former home to WTSA Radio and the original home of Howard Printing. It was an oddly shaped lot, but our honoree discovered it boasted amazing views of the retreat meadows. He credits Scott Sparks, a Vermont Epicurean, with his tremendous assistance in teaching him about doing business and having a solid business plan. So that summer, after purchasing the land, he built a barrel stove by the side of the road with 2 offerings for sale, cornbread and grilled chicken. But he had learned good advice from a Jewish deli in his hometown of Indianapolis. Their motto was, cook good, serve generously, price fairly, and people will come. 24 years later, the people are still coming. Top of the Hill Grill commands a loyal and sizable following. It's become a foodie destination experience. The menu has expanded considerably, but you can still get cornbread and grilled chicken. Outdoor covered seating with that awesome view completes the experience. Catering has also become an important part of the business, filling the schedule with dozens of events all spring, summer, and fall. And it has also been the training ground for some 100 young people, of which my son was one of them. Teens who got their first jobs with him. He mentioned them, teaching them how to work as a team, have fun, and develop a strong work ethic. And school came first, so during slow periods in the shifts, he made sure they did their homework. But our entrepreneur wasn't quite finished. He was going to retire when he remembered an idea that he had years ago, a soup truck to bridge the winter months when the grill was closed. Top of the Hill Soup Shack ladles out amazing soups, stews, gumbo, and chili to keep people employed and Brattleboro eating during the cold winter until the grill reopens. So what's next? We'll have to wait and see. For a life full of ideas, reinvention, and service to people, the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce is proud to name John Julian our Entrepreneur of the Year. Congratulations, John.
Thank you very much. I've always said the Top of the Hill Grill was a team sport, and I couldn't have done it without the wonderful staff that I've had over the years, as well as the support of the Brattleboro community. It's been a great ride, and I look forward to continuing. And I'm very surprised and pleased to accept this. And thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Great. And now I'm going to pass it over to Tracy John, who will recognize the Person of the Year.
Thanks, Gina. This was a tough one this year. We talked a lot about this. And so here we go. Since 1954, the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce has been awarding the Person of the Year honor to an individual who has made a positive impact in our community. This year, choosing one individual was impossible. So today, we're going to do it a little differently. 2020 was an extraordinary year and one we could never have imagined when we met this time a year ago. In March, our state shut down. Businesses, schools, places of worship, and social venues were ordered to close. Simple gestures like handshakes and hugs were no longer safe, and our smiles were hidden behind masks. All to slow a virus that was and still is wreaking havoc throughout the world. We've all been challenged and more lies ahead, but over the last year, with ingenuity, perseverance, acts of kindness, and by coming together, our community has demonstrated that we can rise to and meet the challenge. Business owners adopted new business models to keep the economy alive and citizens served. When shops and restaurants were closed to in-person business, they quickly shifted to online, curbside, and takeout options. As someone who did that, I don't know if quickly is the right word, but we did do that. Professional services didn't miss a beat, having their staff work from home in order to keep their operations going. Seeing the sudden need for hand sanitizer, local distillers used their spirits to make the much needed product. Consumers stepped up to help shops and restaurants make it through the shutdown by committing to buying local, purchasing gift cards to be used at a later date in order to immediately infuse much needed cash into businesses. Grocery store employees joined the ranks of frontline workers, showing up to work every day when most of us were home to make sure we had access to the food and supplies we needed. Nursing home staff became substitutes for families who weren't allowed to visit their loved ones. Teachers and school administrators found creative ways to salute their students' year-end achievements, organizing virtual graduations to give high school seniors who had worked so hard for 12 years the opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their success. For the elementary school kids who were moving up to middle school, teachers in car caravans paraded through neighborhoods, honking horns and stopping at each student's house to salute them on their achievements. Town officials made sure young ghosts and goblins didn't miss a long-running tradition by treating them to a drive-through Halloween. Religious organizations, entertainment venues, and exercise studios kept people connected during this time of isolation by offering virtual events. Citizens stepped forward to help their neighbors in need. Using their own money and donated fabric, volunteers young and old put their sewing skills to good use by making thousands of masks for frontline workers and first responders in our area and surrounding states. A mask tree with free masks for anyone who needed one sprung up in downtown Brattleboro. Individuals, organizations, and groups stepped up with efforts large and small to make sure their neighbors were fed. And each of us did our part to keep our neighbors safe and healthy by taking the simple yet important action of wearing masks and social distancing. All of you probably know an individual or an organization, an unsung hero who has gone above and beyond to take the sting out of the pandemic. So today, the Brattleboro Area Chamber of Commerce is proud to salute all of the unsung heroes in our corner of Southern Vermont who rose up to support their neighbors and keep our community moving forward by naming each of them and each of you our 2020 Person of the Year. Thank you. I'm going to turn it back over to Gina to wrap up our meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Tracy. Thanks to everyone for being here today. I'd like to thank you all for joining us at the annual meeting, and thank you all for what you do for our community. Of course, huge thanks go to all of you. Your support throughout the year is incredible, and we couldn't do any of this without you. So thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. Here's to 2021, and hoping to see each other in person again soon. Thank you.